digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
This is it. This is the moment. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club have rolled the dice. They rolled on it. A manager with let me get that right. A philosophy, a manager with an identity, a manager who doesn't bend, doesn't compromise. And right now, walking into a club that's on its knees. Let's not sugarcoat it. Spurs are broken. Confidence shot, injuries piling up, fans divided, and the question hanging over everyone's simple is, can he actually save this football club? Because the Derby doesn't do safe. It doesn't do long ball. It doesn't shut up shop and grind out ugly wins. He plays brave football, risky football, football that demands belief, demands courage, demands players to take responsibility. But here's the problem. What happens when you ask a broken team to play brave? What happens when you tell players low on confidence to take risks in their own box? This isn't Brighton. This isn't a project with time and patience. This is Tottenham. This is pressure. This is now. And tomorrow against Sunderland, we might get our first real answer. Is it the start of something bold or the beginning of another Spurs collapse? Let's talk about it. And let's talk about that tonight. And joining me, of course, is my own mate, my own mucker. He's ducking and diving somewhere in Tottenham, trying to get something moving. It is my mate, Billy. How are you tonight, bud?
I'm very good, my friend. I was a little bit worried yesterday, but I had a very good, enjoyable morning watching football this morning. I don't know if you did too.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better at
I did.
the moment.
Was it something to do with cherries? Something along them lines.
It was. Bottles as well.
Did you hear they're blaming the pitch wasn't wet enough?
A dry pitch now. I've heard it all. It was a wet pitch last time. Now it's a dry one.
I've heard it
That's
all
their
now.
own pitch as well to make it even better.
I know. And I worked in that stadium for about 3 years. So I can tell you some stories.
Don't they normally? They normally call it the carpet.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any problem
They
with the
used
pitch.
to have security cards, Billy, walking around there, right? So Tottenham fans wouldn't write on the wall of the stadium. Honestly, it was the most funniest thing ever. But yeah, welcome. We've got this young man coming through as well, joining us as well. Stop. We need a bit of therapy this evening. We do.
Boys, how are you?
Yes, we've called the doctor in, everyone, to give us a bit of therapy before tomorrow. But be patient. He charges £1,000 an hour. It's very expensive. How are you, Anthony? How are you tonight, buddy?
I'm very happy that Arsenal lost. That's what I can say. And hopefully the boys can do it tomorrow. And my weekend, I'll be happy this weekend.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Right, guys, before we get into chat, Billy and Anthony, what do you reckon to the news that Tottenham have reached verbal agreement with Andy Robinson? What's your take on it, Billy? Are you pleased with it, bud? Because I am.
I think it's a good signing for sure. We need a bit of experience, and I think my only worry with it is who's making the calls because we were linked with this guy in January with a different manager, and now we've got it doesn't really seem to be a Deserby pick for me, but apparently on the internet as Vinay that's doing these calls, so a bit strange on that one. But yeah, I'm all for a bit of experience for sure, and barely have a left back that can stay fit all season, so much needed.
It is. And actually, I was saying this morning when I broke the news with the predicted lineup, I was saying I would start him first and then put Udogie as a backup because we know Udogie's always get injured. But him on one side, he can cross a ball as well, Robinson. Porro on the right can cross a ball. We haven't had them sort of fullbacks really since Danny Rose and Kyle Walker, have we?
You're talking to me, sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Bud. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I misheard. I didn't realise if you said Anthony.
No,
sorry about that.
That's okay.
No. I think I agree with Billy. I think it's a top signing if we do get in. But the thing is, it is if we stay in the Premier League. So we've not definitely got him, have we? Because we're talking about signings for the summer. We don't even know what league we're going to be in yet.
Yeah, it all depends on us staying in the Premier League. I mean, I know that's a sticking point, but when have we ever known Tottenham to do this, Billy? We haven't, have we, Bud? Anthony, we've never known them to come out as early as this to say, right, we've got an agreement in principle. Is it Billy? Right. Just to you first, and then it goes around here. Is it the board are sort of scared of what's happening? That there's a bit of panicking in the boardroom. Do you think?
I think so. And if you remember that, article that Vinay put in the program just before the West Ham game, he did talk about how he wants to sign players on higher wages. So Andy Robertson would definitely be an example of that. I think they are panicking left, right, and centre at the moment. And Andy Robertson's got the most or the second most assists of any defender in Premier League history. So it'd be a big signing. But I think they're panicking all over the shop, mate. And wouldn't surprise me. Apparently, this is a Vinay signing. I don't think Langer's going to be here. I know we spoke about this on the weekend. In the week, sorry. I don't think he's going to be here, so it wouldn't surprise me if this was a Vinay sign. And he tried to do the same at Arsenal, obviously, by signing a few experienced players. I think that's fine as long as the manager wants them as well, is all I'll say. As long as this one has been okayed by Deserby as well, then that's fine by me.
Yeah, what about you, Anthony? Do you agree with Billy? You think it's a bit of a panic by the board, or do you think the manager's come in to say, no, I want this player, get it done? Where are you on it?
I'm a bit like, I'd like to think Deserby would have had a say because he did say, he'd be in charge of transfers. I'm a bit like with the board, if this is the start of something where we're going to start putting players on bid wages, then I hope that's the start of something. But I'm still a bit skeptical that we'll sign Robertson on bid wages probably. And like I said, I hope that is the start of we are going to start putting players on bid wages and start signing them. But I'm a bit like I'll believe it when I see it. This can't just be Robertson and then sign a bunch of kids again. It's got to be if we stay up, we've got to go push the boat out and just sign some more top quality players. And I don't believe all this hype about Robertson being too old and stuff. He's the experience that we need. We've got too many youngsters in the squad, and there's someone we desperately need. We need a bit of experience in that side.
Yeah, and I think the wages thing as well is a bit like it's a bit like our transfer fees. We're spending loads of money now, but what we spend it on. So you can't just give players big wages and it's going to fix everything. So like Colin Gallagher, we gave big wages and it didn't really solve any problems. So it's about how you spend the money rather than just going out and saying, well, we need some more players on big wages, so let's go and get Robertson, isn't it? It's about how you spend it, really.
And it's about I think they're trying to get out early, the board, and trying to say, oh, look what we're doing. Look, we are doing it when we do survive. Well, look what we're doing, guys. Look, no problems here. Oh, we know there's massive problems there, but they're trying to put fires out all over the place. And I don't trust them. We all don't trust them, but the proof will be in the pudding. Let's welcome a few people in and we'll crack on with it. Big up to Wayne Bonner. Big up, Wayne. He says, good evening, folks. Hope you're well. I'm sticking to my guns. Leads to go down. I hope it's Forest, but there you go. Big up to you. Big up to Simon Cohen as well. Big up to Bird on a Banjo. Big up. He goes, well. Spurs win tomorrow. Big up to Bobby Boy. Big up, Bobby. Still confident, guys. Settle for a draw to get us off and running. I don't think a draw is good enough. Has to be a win tomorrow. Has to be a win. I'm smiling a bit more now. Yeah, we are. I'm loving watching all the Arsenal fans meltdown. It's absolutely hilariously funny. Big up Frog on the Wall. Yeah, I don't know why I'm speaking to you. You got a lucky win last night, but you're not going to be out of the relegation for long. You'll be back in it tomorrow. You'll be back where you belong with all your bubbles. So there you go. Just don't run out of bubbles. That's all I'm going to say, Frog. Big up to you, bud. Big up to Scott. Big up Scott. He says, big up Dermot, Billy, and the delusional Anthony. There's only one delusional man here, Scott, and that's me. If we stay up, he signs. Yeah, that's true as well.
Scott. My nickname's Scott calls me delusional. He does.
Yeah.
I said we're gonna win. I said we're gonna win tomorrow, and he called me delusional. So.
Yeah, I know we say we're going to win 4-0 every game. I'm going for 3-0 tomorrow, but that's me just tempering it just a little bit. Big up Simon, big up Scott. Anyway, amazing that De Zerbi wants the same player we wanted before him. It is, yeah, it really is. Big up to Wayne says the Robinson potential signing is purely psychological. Stay up, and this is the caliber of player we're bringing. That's true. Big up to William Webb. The top 10 clubs in the championship are played aged 26 to 34. The bottom 10 youth experience, it's key. Yes, down there. Big up to Since Spurs. It says, I can't see it's beating Sunderland at all, to be honest. Going for a 2-0 loss. It's your opinion. I don't agree with it, but it's your opinion. And big up Stephanie. Evening, Dermot. Have you checked out? No, I haven't checked on Tony. No. I thought I'd just give him a day, Steph, and then I might text him later. Bless him. Last night, I was on the mix zone last night, guys. And there was an Arsenal fan giving it all of that. We're going to win tomorrow. We're going to win. He's probably gone into hiding now. Big up to you, Steph. And Spurs deserve to go down for neglecting our club. And we're not going down. We're not going down. And big up, the legends are in. Big up, Kate and Jimbo. Big up, lads. Big up, Kate. Hope you're doing well. See you tomorrow on We Are Spurs TV. Williams going for a 2-1 win. That is it. Right. Guys, we're going to start here. I've got a few stats, right? And start with you, Billy. It is currently 13 games without a win, stretching across 104 days. Now, we have beaten the Aussie or D-list team that endured the 10 straight games without a win back in 93-94. Tottenham finished 15th that season, just 3 points off the relegation zone. I think it was a 2-0 win away to Oldham. Yes, Oldham were in the Premier League back in the day. Then we lost to QPR 4-1 at the last game of the season. Swindon, a 10th in the Premier League for 15 games without a win. So basically, Billy, the first question to this is, how important is it a win tomorrow? 104 days without a win. It's mind-boggling, the stats that are coming out, isn't it?
It is, mate. And I think it was, what was it? Was it Crystal Palace, the last win? Crystal Palace away, I think it was.
28th of December.
It's so long ago that I can't really remember it, other than I can't remember the goal or anything like that. I think, yeah, it's crazy. 2025, wasn't it? Yeah. 2025. Yeah. It's just, we're now sat in the middle of April almost, and without Tottenham, without a win in 2026, you just can't fathom it happening. You just can't fathom a club like Tottenham experiencing that kind of thing. And it's just crazy. The new stats keep on coming every time, I think. And I think the scary thing is now that we're actually in the bottom three, aren't we? Which is, with the form that we've been in, it feels like we've deserved to be in there for a long time, but now we're actually there. So it'd be interesting to see how the players react to it. And I think one of the things as well, which I remember, when we were sort of first started to flirt with relegation, I thought, we'll be all right. We've got a miles better goal difference than these guys as well. That's been eaten up massively, hasn't it, now? Especially with West Ham winning 3-0 last night. It's going to the wire. So it's scary times, mate. I'm optimistic, though. I think we will win tomorrow, like you, my friends. But I agree with you. I don't think a draw is good enough. I think we have to get out of this rot. We need a win. We have to break this curse of 100-day plus curse. And Brighton had another really good result. So the last thing we need is a loss going into that Brighton game. And they went and won at Burnley. They're on really good form. So it's got to be a win tomorrow, mate. It has to be.
It has to be. The only thing that Wolves were bad last night, Anthony, and did they lose 4-0? But I mean, Billy is right. We've got 2 games coming up that are really important. Tomorrow is vital, and also Brighton is vital. If we go to Wolves and we're sort of 5 points adrift at the bottom, it's sort of getting to games that, we could get to the Leeds game, win or go down. And we shouldn't be in this situation, should we? Really?
No, I think if we lose tomorrow, I don't think we'll get out of it. I think psychologically, 2 points adrift at the moment at West Ham. I think their next game's against Crystal Palace, which obviously could go either way, but we've got Brighton at home on the weekend, which isn't going to be an easy game. I just think if we're not going to win tomorrow, we're never going to win, and that's why I'm a bit more confident that we will win with the Zerbi coming in, because I think we've got to win eventually. Surely we can't go the rest of the season without winning a game. But if we don't win tomorrow, when is that win going to come? And that's the thing. And the more you lose games, the more it's eating into the rest of the season. And then West Ham, if we end up dropping points again, West Ham pick up a point, and suddenly it's 5 points, and then suddenly that gap gets bigger, and then we are even in more trouble than we actually are now.
Yeah. I mean, Billy, who needs to step up tomorrow for Tottenham for you? Is it like a Palhinha or a Romero, or captain lead by example? Do some of the elder players have to lead by example now? Tomorrow?
It's got to be the leadership team, yeah. It's got to be the leadership. Romero, Van de Ven. Obviously, Vicario can't because he's on the he'll be on the mend, and so will Maddison. So I want to see it from our centre backs tomorrow, Vicario and Van de Ven and Romero. They've let us down too many times this season. I think, you go back to that Crystal Palace game, Van de Ven with a horrific sending off. Romero's had 2 suspensions this season. They've both not been solid at the back either. It's time for them to step up and save us. They are our leadership. They're our leadership group. There's no excuses now. Before you can see, well, we've got this interim manager and they don't really rate. Now we've got a proper manager in now. A proper Premier League manager who's going to be here for a long time. Really highly rated manager. If they don't show up for this, then, when the team are really in the mud, then that's it. We're down. So I'm really looking to the experienced players, people like Conor Gallagher, Solanke, because one thing's for sure, and our good friend Scott will no doubt agree with this. We've been relying on the kids in our losses in the Premier League lately. People like Archie Gray and Tell, and I know you can question whether they're good enough, and I know people certainly do, but they're the only ones that are trying at the moment. So we've got to see it from the senior players now. It's time.
Yeah, we do. I mean, Anthony, look. The club, I liked De Zerbi's press conference yesterday. I was really impressed with it, the way he came out and the way he was talking us up. And, I said it yesterday when I did the show about the press conference, that he had a bit of arrogance, but I think it was positive arrogance instead of, arrogance that I'm the best and everyone else. It was more like building up the players. And is that what you want? Do you think he has to go around to some players and kick them up the arse, but other players put an arm around them? And how do you think he's going to do with Kingsley tomorrow? Because we are expecting him to start and goal. Do you think he spent the last sort of 12 days building his confidence up again after what happened at Atletico Madrid?
Well, I actually liked De Zerbi's press conference yesterday. He didn't seem arrogant. He said he's not better than Frank, not better than Tudor, and actually was quite. Well, Frank, when he was here, was saying that the players need the supporters, but he was basically saying the players need to step up for the supporters because the players will move to other clubs, but the supporters will be here forever. And I actually like that. So I did like the press conference, but I've liked other managers' press conferences as well in the past. It hasn't done right. Yeah. And with Kingsley, I'm not too sure about that, to be honest. But I mean. Kingsley, I'm a bit unsure of what Kingsley will be like, but I think De Zerbi has had to just get to speak to Kingsley and just give him a hug basically and say, look, everything's all right. And I think there's certain players in the dressing room that probably do need a rocket up the arse, and there's certain players that do need a hug, like a arm around the shoulder, and Kingsley's probably one of them. And I hope he's given him like a pep talk and spoken to him and just said to him, look, it's all right, and been on his side and just done whatever he can, and hopefully we have a good performance from Kingsley tomorrow. But that's the one position that does worry me about tomorrow.
It does me. And Billy, look, I think Tudor treated Kingsley terribly after Atletico Madrid, and hopefully De Zerbi has gone in there and put an arm around him saying, look, every goalkeeper has a bad game. Every goalkeeper makes a mistake. You're only human. Come on, you're my man. You're my number one for Sunderland. And do you think also with Vicario sort of on the verge of leaving as well, that he might be looking to him now to be the number one. I know they're looking to bring in Trafford, but do you think that might be an option for him as well?
It's definitely an option. I know people again will question his quality, but people forget he's a very, very young goalkeeper, very, very young for a goalkeeper, and he's exceptional with his feet, and that's what De Zerbi will be looking for, someone who's very good with their feet. So, he might, with a bit of coaching and a bit more confidence, he might turn into the goalkeeper that we knew that he could be. So, you never know with these things. He definitely has a lot of qualities that De Zerbi will look for. I think what they'll probably do is try and upgrade on Vicario and keep them both as Kinski as a backup goalkeeper, and then get someone like Trafford in. But he's got a few games now to really show himself and announce himself. And if it goes well, we might not see Vicario for the rest of the season, just because Vicario, Kinski is much better at his feet than Vicario is.
What about Austin?
Sorry, Dermot. Sorry, Dermot.
Sorry,
say that. With Kingsley, if he's in and out of the team all the time, he hardly plays. Vicario's number one, so if he's in and out of the team all the time, he's gonna make a few mistakes, isn't he? And then obviously the pressure builds if he keeps making mistakes and he knows he might not get a chance again, all that stuff. So, but I agree with Billy. The thing with Vicario, if he's gonna leave in the summer anyway, then what's the point of him playing for the rest of the season? Really, if Kingsley starts playing well and does really well, then you might as well keep him in goal.
Yeah. What about Austin? William says Kinski is mentally tough, though. I would put Austin in goal. He's mature, very calm, and underrated. What do you reckon, guys? Would you give Austin a go tomorrow? I'd be nervous if they did.
I think I'll go Kinski, I think I'll go Kinski, just because of Austin's when you're a third choice goalkeeper, you're a third choice goalkeeper, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? It's more like an emergency situation rather than it's like some people call it the best job in the world, don't they? Because you basically get a footballer's wage and never have to play. So I think he's third choice for a reason, personally.
Yeah. Anthony, do you want to add anything to that, bud?
But he's a Tottenham boy, isn't he? So he knows what it means to play for Spurs. That's the one thing about Austin compared to the others, really.
Yeah, that's.
He did all right when he was in the Europa League, didn't he? When he got called upon last season. It's very rare you even get to see a third choice goalkeeper in the first place. Both goalkeepers have to be injured, which managed to happen to us. But he did fine when he was called upon. So, but I think it'll be Kinski tomorrow. I'm almost certain.
Yeah, I think it will. I put him in my predicted lineup actually, Kinski. But if we do put Austin, I'd be extremely nervous. Big up Dwayne. He says, any news on Vic's hernia? The two in front of the back four will be interesting. I'll go for Gray and Palunia. I've put Palunia in the number 6 role, and I've put Gray and Bergville in that midfield. One as an 8, one as a sort of a 10, and put Xavi on the left, Tell on the right, and Richie up front. Vic, I think, will be back for the Brighton game. It's either that or the Wolves game. He'll be back for one of them. But as Billy rightly says, if Kinski plays well tomorrow, and De Zerbi likes him, then you may not see Vic again, and it will be off to Inter Milan, I think, at the end of the season. And big up to you, Tony. Hope you're doing well.
Big up, Tony.
Yeah, evening, Dermot, Anthony, and the other. His name's Billy. Tony. He runs he's the only West Ham fan I actually like and respect. The rest of them can go and play with their bubbles. I let Tony play with Barney the dinosaur also to have walking around. I'm only kidding, Billy.
That's what we need. We need to do what they did last night, don't we? It's just a big four. That was a statement win for them. Bloody, I hate to say it, Hammers Football TV, but I'm sure you enjoyed that. You've got your whole weekend ahead of you now without having to worry. That's what we bloody need.
Yeah, we need that tomorrow, definitely. Look, with De Zerbi, he plays this sort of attacking, sort of risky football. What are you expecting tomorrow, Billy, from him? We're in a relegation battle. Do you think he might forego his philosophy to get us out of trouble this season and then start fresh in the summer? Or what do you expect of him tomorrow?
I think we'll see some elements of it tomorrow for sure. I think we'll definitely see an improvement of the football from Frank and Tudor, but it won't be full on De Zerbi ball. It'll be sort of halfway between, I think. He even kind of said that in his press conference, didn't he? He said he's not going full on like he would in preseason, but he is doing something. So I think it'll be sort of a halfway house in between. And if you watch those, I don't know if you guys have been watching the training videos, but I find them quite fascinating actually. He keeps saying, you need to be in love with the ball and keep the ball and this kind of stuff. So I do think we'll see some versions of it. I just think as well, just from the starting 11 as well, we've seen so many games this season, particularly under Tudor, where players have been playing random positions. We've had Gallagher on the right wing, we've had Susie on the right wing, we've had everyone, and their dog been playing all over the place with Tottenham. I think De Zerbi will just come in and put players in the right positions and just try and play a bit of football, which we badly need. But I don't think it'll be full-blown De Zerbi ball straight away, but I think we'll see an improvement. We'll try and play football, put it that way.
Is De Zerbi ball a bit like Ange ball, or a bit more
Oh,
disciplined?
did you see his quotes yesterday? He said
Yeah.
one of his favourite managers is Ange. So yeah, I think
did-
it definitely
I
is.
did see that. I did. See, that's why Tequila's not here tonight. Tequila passed out after seeing that comment, and he still hasn't come round. He's still not.
But he used to
feeling
love
great.
watching Ange ball, didn't he? So there you go.
Yeah,
Well,
he,
they
did,
actually-
he
he's
loved
Brighton.
Ange so much.
His Brighton side used to play with High Line as well, didn't they?
Yeah,
They did.
yeah.
But they were a bit more disciplined, weren't they, at the back? They weren't as risky as Ange was. There was that discipline. But yeah, when I read that yesterday, Billy, I must admit, I thought, oh, God, not again. But it's our football, isn't it? It's to do. It's everyone has to play the top. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I don't mind playing the attacking football as long as you can defend as well. And Ange's teams just couldn't defend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a bit
it
more
really
of a balance, and hopefully, because he's Italian, then you don't get many Italians that aren't very good at defending, do you?
No, that's true. I mean, Tottenham is push and run, and we've seen various of that over the years, haven't we? We saw it on look. I've seen videos of the great side of the 60s, 70s. I remember Keith Birkinshaw's sides of the 80s with David Pleat as well, and Terry Venables all playing that sort of push and run, but it's varied over the years. Poch had it as well. In his time, it was all, again, another evolution of it. And I think...
And you have to remember Poch as well, though. You have to remember Poch as well. The defence was incredible as well, wasn't it?
It was.
It was a great going forward, but we were so solid at the back as well. And that's what I pray that we get back to that again.
Yeah, that's what when people hype up Romero and Van der Ven, I'm like back in the day when we had Toby and Jan, they were much better than Romero and Van der Ven.
We had statistically the best defence in Europe back then as well.
Yeah.
Best defence in Europe.
Tony's got a question here. It says, if I say a big if and you don't get a result tomorrow, will there be fan channels that will turn on De Zerbi? Do you know what, Billy? I think there would be.
Well, I remember when Tudor lost his first game, people were talking about him being sacked straight away, weren't they? So
yeah,
I wouldn't write it off at this point. I think that'd be crazy put on a person. You can't expect him to work wonders straight away, especially going to a place like Sunderland away. But definitely wouldn't surprise me with this fan base, mate. We're in and I don't blame anyone either for how they feel, because it's a horrific situation that we're in. Like, why you'd have to be. This is the last throw of the dice. Don't forget. So if we go and get smacked tomorrow, 3-0 or something like that, then it's looking like again there's no way out of it. As we just said, there's no. If we lose tomorrow, I'd really struggle to think if we're going to get out of it again.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I agree with you on that. If we don't win tomorrow, then where do you see the win coming from?
Yeah.
I mean, I expect 8 points from the last 7 games, or 7 points from the last 7 games, 2 wins and a draw. You would think the first 3 games are the easiest. It's the last 4 games that are the hardest.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to think about that, but I don't know if you guys have, but I've sat here in my quietest moments putting shows together thinking, what happens if we did go down? And it's sort of, in a stupid way, I've sort of resigned myself to worst case scenario. Have you done that sort of in your times you've been thinking about it, quiet time, thinking, do you know what? It could happen. So have you resigned yourself to us going down halfway, like mentally in the back of your mind somewhere?
Yeah, sorry.
You go first.
I was just to say, I've been looking at the teams in the Championship and stuff, and thinking what results we can pick up with Bristol City away and all that stuff, and thinking, at least we'll have more games next season, and at least there'll be no VAR and all that stuff.
I think when I really started to think it was when Forest got that draw with Man City, and I think West Ham did the same, didn't they? They both drew with Man City. I thought, bloody hell, we're in trouble now, because both of those teams have been picking up wins here and there. Nottingham Forest and West Ham. We haven't won a game of football for, like we said, 103 days. When we lost that Palace game and we were terrible, I thought, bloody hell, this is it now. We're going down. And then to go and lose against Forest after all, the atmosphere and everything, it's a real reality. And I was looking today, I was thinking, bloody hell, Leicester look like they're going to go down. I was thinking we won't have to play Harry Winks and Oliver Skip next season now, because they're going to go down as well. But that Leicester just shows you how bad it can be, because to get back-to-back relegations, I mean, if that I mean, relegation would be absolutely horrific and the worst thing that could possibly happen to us. But if we went down to League One the year after, bloody hell, I just can't imagine it. And that's what's happening to Leicester. So if it can happen to Leicester, it can happen to us. But
I'm just going.
I've been looking at the Championship thinking, bloody hell, that might be a tough game next year.
You've just had a comment in your chat, Dermo, from Aussie Ange. He's the most optimistic fan I've ever met. He said we're going to win 3-0 tomorrow, but a couple of times he said that we're going to win this, we're going to win that. Big up Aussie Ange, but he's the most optimistic fan I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, big up to you, man. Big up to you. Yeah, big up to you, Aussie Ange. Yeah, he's a bit like me. I think we're going to win everything. I start to see that we're going to win the quad. It's on. Then the treble.
Like an Arsenal fan.
Then the double. Yeah. Then the double. And then we're going to win the league. And with that, we're going to win something. I just, you know what? Just in the back, I don't think we will go down. I think we will stay up. But I think you also got to but I think you've got to resign yourself to it as well, haven't you? You got to. Yeah. It's been 49 years since we last got relegated. I just keep in the back of my head, 74, 75, we went to play Chelsea. Near enough the end of the season, we got a win at Chelsea, we stayed up. On the Rossi idealists, we got a win at Oldham and we stayed up. I just think third time, I don't know. What worries me is the players' mentality.
Yeah.
With us now being in the bottom three, as some of these players, tomorrow's going to be interesting. We are going to see tomorrow who's up for it and who's not up for it. And that's what's worrying me.
And they'd have had, this is their third manager of the season. So if this is literally the last roll of the dice, isn't it? This is like when you're in the casino, you got $1 left and you put it on a number in roulette and just pray that it comes in. This is what we're doing at the moment. But I tell you what, though, you can't say that we don't deserve it. And by we, I mean the board of this club, the way that they've acted, and particularly the January. I saw obviously when Kudus got injured at the weekend in the midweek, everyone's re-showing those Langer quotes where he says, we didn't need to sign anyone because the injured players are coming back soon and there was no one that can improve us, so we don't want to make a panic buy. And that quote would have come back to haunt us so badly if we go down. And Langer, Vinay, the Lewis family, they deserve to be relegated. The way that they've neglected the football club, they deserve it. The fans do not deserve it one bit. Fans have really stuck by them this season, even at times when it's been difficult to go to games. I know that there's been booing and stuff like that, but it's been a horrendous season for the fans. I will never ever say that fans deserve relegation, but the board definitely do. The ownership, they deserve to be relegated. That's to show how incompetent they've been.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that, guys, I mean, with the board, and they have been incompetent, Anthony, and the Lang things have come back. And it was one of the questions I put in January summer recruitment. Was it enough? And did Tottenham fail to build on the squad capable of handling injuries? That's been the thing, hasn't it? That they have not. The January thing, we don't need any players because we've got players coming back. And we've got the worst medical department in the Premier League. Where in the board do you put the blame? Look, we can't blame Daniel Levy anymore. He's not here. We can't blame the old guard are not here. But have Vinay and the Lewis family just carried on over, haven't they? They've just continued the work of the previous people that were there. Or the second part to it, or is it really a number two doing the number one's job? Vinay number two to like Levy, and also Lang number two to Paratici. They're just number twos, aren't they? So who do you put the blame fully on for this? That's to you, bud.
Who to? Me?
To you, yeah, to you.
Sorry. I'm miles away.
That's okay.
I think it's a mixture of everyone to blame. I think Landers to blame. I think Vinay's to blame. But I think Enoch are really. The thing is, Levy was running the club for ages. I don't think the Enoch family, or the Lewis family, shall I say, like, is it Vivian and is it Charlie or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't think they know how to run a club properly. I think Levy basically done everything, and they've come in with basically no experience of running it, really. So I think Levy had his faults, but I also think he did good things, and but I start to wonder whether Levy was being controlled with what he could do by Enoch. I'm not saying Levy was at faultless for anything, but I also don't think we'd been this bad if Levy was still here. So I think that they're all to blame, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Billy, look, plenty of work's gone behind the scenes against the board. We've had the supporters trust coming out and doing their bit. You've done your bit this season. I think at the end of the season, you and the guys at Change Not need a massive thank you from us fans, because you do put a lot of hard work into it, and you do a lot, and maybe not to your maybe to your detriment sometimes, where you will get criticised. You shrug it off and you keep coming forward. And I think us as a fan base, we need groups like yours. We need groups that we can get behind. We need this. And where are you on it? I know you've been very vocal about the board and Levy and Lewis and Charlie and Vinay. But is there a way that they can turn things around? I'm being hypothetical here. What would change look for you, bud?
It would have to be personally, I think the answer is no. First of all, I think I think January was the big opportunity to show that they've changed and they've not done it. I think you can, that was a critical window. And if we do go down, I'll look back on that January transfer window as the reason why we went down. That was a real opportunity there to get some players in when we desperately needed them. And I think, that was their first big window as the new ownership group. And I know people on us guys here won't ever really thinking that they were a new group, but they certainly tried to label themselves as that way. So I don't really think there's anything they can do. It'd have to be an absolutely massive transfer window in summer for them to prove people wrong. But the problem is now that we're sort of, if we do stay up, we'll be 17th, no European football. How are we going to convince anyone to even come and play for Tottenham? It'd be difficult. Man United managed to do it, but they're Man United and they're the biggest football club in the world. So I think that I don't think there's anywhere left to turn for this board now. I think what we desperately need is someone new to come in. Vinay and Langer have to go without a doubt, because I think as soon as you have 3 managers in one season, your job becomes untenable as a football director, and that's that can't fly. You just can't. 3 managers in one season it's unheard of. I saw something ridiculous. I think Liverpool have had like 6 or 7 managers in the Premier League era or something like that, ridiculous like that, and we've had that in about 2-3 years. It's just not the way that a football club operates. So for me, they would be gone straight away. If they have to hire some new football people in, let's say hypothetically that the Lewis family don't go, they have to hire a new director of football and they have to spend serious money. But for me personally, I think I can't see us ever changing while ENIC are here. So for me, it's all about ENIC out or nothing.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. I know it's a hypothetical question. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, Billy, but
no. And having said that, I don't think they'll go. I don't think there will be. No. I don't think they will go in summer. I think they'll probably try and stick around. And so it's not just hypothetical. It probably is what reality is going to happen. To be honest, I don't think they will go. So
they won't go until they get the valuation they want. They won't go until they get their money. And if we did go down, they definitely won't go.
No, they definitely
the valuation will go down.
I think they'll wait till they're back in the Champions League, to be honest with you, before they sell, which could be
a long time, isn't it?
It could be an hour.
Yeah. And there's somebody here. I just want to very quickly, before I get on to my last question and the stats, because I know Billy is tight for time. So just very quickly, where are you, Scott? I do not agree with this 100. I do not agree with it. I'm sorry.
I don't agree, Scott. I love you, Scott, but I don't agree with you.
I would love to know your reasoning for that. If you want to put your reason in the chat for that, I mean, I will read it out. But if anyone deserves it, it's the board, it's the ownership, maybe the players as well, guys. I put them in that bracket because I think some of the previous managers, but not us. We don't deserve it. Why do we? We the ones that go every week. I mean, Billy go to every home game. I'm sure Anthony, you go to games as well. I can't get to as many games as I like, but I do watch alongs on here. It's like having the season ticket, but from the comfort of my own home. I miss meeting up with people and having a crack. But we don't deserve it. I hate when people say that. It really pisses me off. Really does. Anything you want to say in that, guys? Billy, Anthony, on that?
No, I agree. I think, it's not just fans that go to games as well. I think every fan, it's been an absolutely miserable season for us all. And, it's just been a horrific experience. But actually, I have to say, I think I was talking about this just now. I think what De Zerbi was saying yesterday was really good, actually, when he said, it's the fans that are feeling this more than me and more than the players, because they get one football club in their life, and sadly, for better or worse, our football club is Tottenham, and we've had to suffer through a lot. But suffering relegation would be the worst. I mean, I know some of you guys would have experienced it before, but we're going back 40 years or whatever, so it would just be absolutely. I can't see any fan deserving that. I know some people will say, well, we should have done more to get the board out, and fans didn't turn up in numbers to protest. But at the end of the day, a lot of people they're just fans of the club, and they just, some people, they just go with their family and they support Tottenham, and they don't really care about anything else. And I wouldn't personally say anyone deserves it. People just have different sort of outlooks on Spurs, don't they? Some really care about the owners, like the people that we talk to. Some just don't really care, and that's unfortunately the way it is.
It is. Big up to you, Guy from Lane. He says, I'm in Sunderland at the moment. Go to the next pub or have a drink on us. Big up panel and chat. And he says, I'm going to the game tomorrow. I bet you're buzzing already. I bet you are. Right, well, let's look at the stats and let's look at tomorrow. Of course, Tottenham do start in 17th in our last bit, the last run into the Premier League season. We've got 7 wins, 9 draws, 15 defeats, and 1.05 XG per 90. Sunderland sit in 11th, 11 wins, 10 draws, 10 defeats, and with XG per 90 of 0.98. Tottenham and Sunderland have played 33 times, 7 draws. Sunderland have had 5 wins in total, 4 at home and 1 away. Tottenham have got a really good record against Sunderland. 21 total wins, 14 at home, 7 away. Yes, in recent form, Sunderland, not great. They did lose 3-1 to Fulham. Got a couple of draws in there, but they have lost the last 2 home games as well on the bounce. But they did, before the international break, did have that important win against Newcastle in the Tyneside derby. And I wonder, would that give them a little bit of hope going into the game and the rest of the season? Tottenham, of course, only 1 draw in the last 5. 4 defeats out of that. We haven't won since the 28th of December, 2025, 1-0 away to Palace. Archie Gray's first ever goal for the club. But we've had some heavy defeats in there, 4-1 to Arsenal, then 3-0 last time out to Nottingham Forest. Of course, Tottenham and Sunderland have played over the years. Last season, we've got a 1-1 draw with them earlier in the season. A game, Billy, were you at that game, the Sunderland game?
I was, yeah.
The one. And look, just on that, it was a game we should have won. Do games like that, games like Sunderland or the Brighton game, or when we lost early in the season, I think, to Bournemouth, are you looking at them games and thinking that's where it started to go wrong, or that's where we dropped points? Oh, hello, Billy's gone. Anthony, can you point to that Sunderland game back in January and go, if we had won there, maybe things might be a bit different?
Yeah, you can look at that with other games as well, can't you?
Yeah.
I think there's loads of games where you could say the same thing. The truth of the matter is, I don't think we've played well since the Man City away game this season.
No,
even when we played Everton early in the season away, when we won 3-0, we didn't play that well, did we? So I don't think you can look at just the Sunderland game. I think there's loads of games in there that you could look back at and think, we could have got a result here and there, but Sunderland's just one of many, really.
Yeah, of course, we did get a 0-0 draw with them back in 2017. We did beat them 1-0 at White Hart Lane when it was still standing 2016. I
think back in the day we used to have a really good record over Sunderland or something.
Yeah, we did.
I think we called their ground Stadium Delight or something like that.
Yeah, it was back in the day. I mean, Billy, you're at the Sunderland game where we drew 1-1 with them. I mean, can you point back to games like that after Christmas and go, they're the games why we are. They're dropping points in them certain games where we were leading and we didn't take our chances, did we?
Yeah, it's got. I mean, if it all comes down to it, at the end of the season or whatever, it's the home form. You can't have a Premier League club with ambitions of ours and have 2 home wins in the season. It's absolutely mental. I remember not so long ago when we were talking about Pochettino, where we had 17 wins out of 19 at home. Now we're going to have. We've got about. I saw that stat that was doing the rounds at the weekend in midweek that PSG have beaten more Premier League clubs at home than we have in the last 2 years, and they play in bloody France. So that says a lot, doesn't it? And I think it's 5 wins in 2 years at home. It's just crazy. And Sunderland at home, a newly promoted side, we have to beat them. And it's unbelievable that we didn't beat them. Nottingham Forest at home, Crystal Palace at home. All of these home games that we've lost, it's just, West Ham at home. It's unforgivable. And when you look back on the season, we actually, I remember at the beginning of the season, didn't we? We had the best away form in the league. So it's going to come down to that home form, and not beating Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, West Ham, all these teams at home. It's unforgivable. Wolves. We didn't beat Wolves at home even.
Bournemouth.
At Bournemouth at the
well.
time, Wolves were one of the worst Premier League teams on record until they got Rob Edwards in. So it's been our home form has been absolutely shocking.
But Wolves, we actually have the last few years, we actually have a bad record against Wolves. They're like
I don't think we beat them in 6 games, have we?
Yeah.
Not beat them in 6 games. I think it's Jan Vertonghen was the last time we beat them away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that rainy night under Mourinho, wasn't it? These are the referees tomorrow. Robert Jones, Neil Davis is the assistant. So is Nick Greenhang, Thomas Bramwell, and James Bell is on VAR. If you are watching the game, guys, from the UK and Ireland, of course, it's on Sky TV. In Argentina, it's on Disney Plus Premium Argentina. In the United States, I think it's on Peacock. I haven't updated this, so I do apologize. And in Canada, it's on Fubo TV. Team news, we know Vicario's not ready for the Sunderland game after hernia surgery. Kudus has been ruled out out of a return this weekend after suffering a setback in his return from injury. We think he's out for the season. And Bentancur's training with the team but remains unavailable. Maybe back for Brighton, but most possibly Wolves will be there. The injuries, we've got Odegaard, Kulu, Maddison, Bentancur, Davis, and of course Vicario out. Got a super chat in from. Okay, where did that go? Where did that super chat go? Let me bring that up. Thank you so much indeed for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. From deep in the heart of Texas. Wow, big up to you, sir. I can tell you that ENIC is a deaf to opinions of supporters. I agree that they will only sell at peak value, but are too intimate to ever get the club in such a position. I mean, big up to you first. What's it like in Texas? Let us know what the weather's like over there. Billy, this one rallies for you, bud. So I'll let you answer this one. Do you agree with him?
Yeah, I do agree. I think they are tone deaf to opinions of supporters, and they've certainly behaved that way for the 25 years that they've been here. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Yeah, I certainly do agree. But we got to keep fighting against them. We got to keep going as supporters because that's all we can do. And I don't know if you guys saw today that Liverpool had a protest against their owners. I know we spoke about that midweek, Dermot, but Liverpool had a protest, so they took a banner to the ground. They took no flags. They made sure they had no pound in the ground, which I think is something which we can use as well, where they made sure that no fans spent any money inside the ground as well. So some good ideas, definitely, which I'd like to take going forward for change for Tottenham. But we've got to keep going. That's all we can do. And hopefully, the noise will become too loud one day. And hopefully these guys will leave our football club. But until they do, then I don't think anything will really change long term.
Muted. That's so unprofessional. Let us know where you are in the heart of Texas. Let us know where you're. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate it, bud. And hit the like, hit the subscribe. And please come in tomorrow. We've got watch along and after the whistle. But let us know where you are in Texas watching us. A lot of Spurs fans live in America, actually. Very big in America, Tottenham, at the moment. Scott's come back in. Why fans deserve relegation. This would be interesting. 2 reasons fans deserve it. 1, as I said earlier, fans back championship level players. He did name them, actually. So you can't complain when we get championship level football. And 2, fans don't want to change the club for the better. They're happy to let INIC continue to bring us crap football, happy to get half-price beers at Coyombo. They ask for change. I don't agree with that, both of them. I'm sorry, Scott, you and me probably never agree on how we see the football club. I just, you can, Billy, I mean, just again, and we'll get you to answer as well, Anthony. You do your best, but you can't drag fans to protest, can you? You can't drag them there. All you can do is do what you can do. And you've done the best you can do. All you got to do is keep plugging it away. But if the club is offering half price and that, you can't blame fans, can you? And
yeah, I mean, at the end of it, it's really difficult for. I understand Scott's point, and I would love it if there are more fans that were angry or that would protest and stuff. But the fact is that 99% of fans just want to support their team. That's what we're dealing with. That's what we're up against. And at the end of the day, that is the job of a supporter, isn't it? That's what we do. We support the players. We support and fans just want to see their football team do well, so they try and get behind them. And it's not to say anyone's a better fan than anyone else. We all have our different relationships with the football club, and everything is just as valid as everything else. But I think the problem is that we find with our fan base and lots of other fan bases as well, is a lot of the people, they just want to try and get behind the team, especially in this situation that we're in. Because most 90% of Spurs fans have never been in this situation before. Never been in a relegation battle. If you're one of the young kids that are going, if you're a teenager, then all they've really known is Spurs being in the top 4 and top 6, and now suddenly Spurs are in a relegation battle. They probably don't have a bloody clue what's going on. Obviously, us older fans will have experienced something like it before, but a lot of fans would never have anything like this at all. So they just want to try and get behind the team and do what they can. And we'll keep trying to. What we've got to try and do is persuade those people. The reason why we're in this situation is not by luck; it's because of the owners that have led to it, and that's what we'll keep doing. Yeah,
and that does it. I mean, for me, 93, 94 was my first experience of Tottenham nearly getting relegated. Was that the same time for you, Billy?
That's a little bit before my time. So yeah, so this is as bad as it's ever been for me. This is my worst I've ever seen by a long way.
Yeah, I remember as a teenager, right? We were playing Oldham, and people will be Oldham were in the Premier League. I mean, it's hard to believe where they are now, but they were a Premier League side team. And we went there. It was a rainy night, and I remember the pitch being muddy. It was in the early years of Sky Sports running the Premier League, and I just remember. Right, and we got 2-0 win, because I know we lost to QPR 4-1 in the last game of the season, and I was there, and I remember the players walking around with it. They had this massive banner. I don't know if they still do it now, but back then they had a massive banner to thank you for your support. Half the fans walked out the stadium. was there to see them.
I think this year they need to can that lap of honour, don't they? This season they can't do one, especially if we go down on the last day. Bloody hell.
They should bring out a banner. We apologise for our incompetence of playing.
Because I've seen the classic picture of the "We Will Be Back" flag that they took around when we got relegated. I remember that. Might need to get one of them again at this rate.
Might do. It might do. I'm in San Antonio, Texas. It's rainy and gloomy. You might as well be over there. Well, it's been a nice day here in the southeast of Ireland.
Same for England as well.
Like being you, Billy?
Yeah, same for England as well. And it's a big weekend of sport, isn't it? With the golf and Grand National, and then hopefully Tottenham will cap it off tomorrow.
See an Irish man doing well in the golf.
I know.
See, that's what I like to see.
They do well in the horse as well, don't they? It's a good weekend for the Irish at the moment.
And Fury tonight. I just hope Conor Ben gets put in his ass. I really do.
Tottenham, at our stadium.
Yeah, I know. It really does. You couldn't make it up, could you? You could not make it up.
Well, Fury was slagging us off in the press conference, wasn't he? And he's fighting in our stadium.
Yeah, he can.
He hopes he does better than Tottenham in this stadium, which can't really complain at.
No, he can't. It was funny. I did laugh when he said it, and then I went, back off. Scott says, no, I agree. You can't force people to go to protest. I don't think it's because of anything the protesters have done. It's because the majority of fans don't care.
That is true. But maybe this season will be a tipping point for a lot of people. Yeah. Just because of how bad. I mean, if we go down, then that will be a tipping point for a lot of people. But even if we survive, you'd hope now that people will think we have to do something about this now, because Tottenham cannot be in a relegation battle again.
And in the summer, there will be plenty of streams on here for Change Tottenham. We'll do our bit, and Billy will be here more and more now, guys, on this channel. And it's a bit of a coup for us. It's a bit of a coup to get Billy on, and I'm really loving it.
Coup for me, more like.
Yeah, it's a coup for us. But big up, right? We're going to end up now. Got the big up to Mark. He says, "Gotta say it, I'm in Mallorca." Why are all these people just sending in messages? They're in hot places.
Can I just say, Dermot, just before we go, there's a team that's going around online. Just wondering what you think of this team. This is apparently the rumoured team. Kinski in goal, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogi. Typical back four. Then you've got Gray, Bergvall, Gallagher in the number 10. And then Mwani, Solanke and Richie up front. That's the team that's doing the rounds at the moment online. So
I wouldn't play Morano.
Where's Xavi?
Yeah, on the bench. But Xavi and 10 on the bench.
Cool.
That is... Oh.
It's doing the rounds. It might not be true, but that's the one that's on one of those Spurs insider accounts.
That's my lineup. That's the lineup the channel picked.
It's probably rubbish then, yeah.
Yeah, it probably is rubbish. Similar to that one, but no Palhinha and no Xavi.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
See,
I
I
don't
put
I don't
Palhinha in
think
the
Palhinha will
6.
be in the summer anyway.
Yeah. I put Palhinha in 6, and I've put Xavi in the left, Tell on the right, and Richie up front. But yeah. Oh, no
Well,
Xavi.
Derby was
That
bigging up
is
Xavi,
ridiculous.
wasn't he? He was
Hmm?
bigging him up in his press conference. So
He was, yeah. He really was. But Mark says, I'm in Mallorca, walking around the shops,
yeah, big up
sports
Tutti,
shops.
big up, mate.
Every top 10 Premier League shirt are everywhere, not a Spurs shirt in sight. Does that tell us we're not as big as we are? We are big. We're massive. We're
Maybe
the
they sold
biggest
them
of
all
them
out.
all.
Maybe all the Mallorcas have bought them all.
Big up David Clark. I don't want my show me age, but I played with leather. Yeah, David's seen it all before. He's seen it all. Bless him. Him and Mr. Brady have. I was speaking to Philip today. He was telling me about 77 and the year we went down. And he was saying the team showed more fight back then in them days. And that was a good team. That had Perriman, Jennings. I have to go through that team, but
Hodder
I
was
had
there,
some
wasn't
really
he?
good.
Hodder there?
Huh?
Hodder was the youngster. Was Hodder there?
Yeah, Hodder was a youngster in that team. Yeah. David says I would play Dan. So if Simmons isn't selected, yeah, I agree. Totally. I agree. Guys, that is it. That is the build-up show. I hope you're all pumped up. I am. Billy will be back. He's joining me tomorrow with during the watch along, be coming on before the game and halftime, giving his thoughts. And then we've got Billy can join us for 4, and also we've got Nick coming on as well, a friend of the channel coming on, giving his thought. But do you want to plug anything first, Billy? Because I know you're in a rush, bud. So do you want to plug anywhere?
No, I just look forward to seeing you tomorrow, mate. And I think we're going to win 3-0. I think 3-1. I think I'll be a bit slightly less optimistic than you, but 3-1 Tottenham.
You're going to give them a goal. You're giving them a goal.
Give them a goal.
How could you?
Kinski. See you tomorrow, mate. Guys.
See you tomorrow, Billy. Take care, bud. And Anthony, thank you for coming on. You've been absolutely fantastic making your debut on here, bud. Really enjoyed it. We'll definitely get you on again. I've enjoyed the therapy. I feel refreshed. I feel ready for the game tomorrow. I will pass the bill on to Tequila. He can pay for it. Big up to you, Tequila. Do you want to send me your link and I'll put it into the chat for tomorrow? But where can people find you, bud? Because I know you run a really good channel and I do watch it. And you do some really good stuff. It's refreshing. So where can people find you?
Dr. Tottenham Therapy is my channel. I've got 107 subscribers at the moment, so it is going up. Big up to everyone that subscribed and liked and viewed me. Much appreciated. I don't know how to put the link in, though, the channel link. I don't know how to do that. Do you have any idea?
That's right. I'll find it. I'll get it for you and I'll put it in the link tomorrow for you. I'll put it in what I'll do is I'll get it later and I'll put it in the description of the show for you.
Okay, thank you very much, mate.
No, thank you for coming on. I want to say massive thank up to everyone. Also, massive big up to Huskin Denton as well from San Antonio in Texas. A big up to you for the super chat. Really do appreciate it, bud. Well, that is it, guys. The build up is done.
One more thing, mate. Sorry, I had the camera off for most of the time. I've not been feeling great today, so that's why the camera's been off. But
you're grand, bud. You're grand. Absolutely grand. What's your score prediction, by the way? Sorry.
2-1 Spurs.
2-1 Spurs. I'm going for 3-0 Spurs. Well, the build-up is done, guys. We've all seen the predicted lineup. Now it's time for a nice hot cup of coffee. Nice, relaxed evening. Watch the boxing. But wake up tomorrow with a spring in our step because the mighty Tottenham Hotspur are back. And yes, we're heading to the Stadium of Light. We're only going for one thing, and that's 3 points. Tottenham out of the bottom 3. You know what? We can stay up, and we will. Come on, you Spurs. In De Zerbi, we trust.